Unfortunately, I've got news for you. If you aren't using or considering using AI agents and AI in your dealership now, you're going to be outdone by a competitor that is. Simple as that. Salespeople come to work and they want to know what car am I going to sell today. And that really is at the detriment to those customers that aren't necessarily ready to buy today. An AI agent has no emotion. It doesn't care. It's quite happy to sit back and nurture. Take a chat that comes in, maybe capture an email address, follow that up by emails, and continue that conversation with the customer, maybe over 20, even 40, 45 days to get to the point where they're converting that for a sales exec. So what can you do today? So today, the subject is AI, artificial intelligence, and specifically about the future of AI agents in the dealership. And unfortunately, I've got news for you. If you aren't using or considering using AI agents and AI in your dealership now to implement between now and in the future, you're going to be outdone by a competitor that is. Simple as that. I use the term AI agents, and that's quite deliberate. We're used to artificial intelligence in terms of things like ChatGPT today, and we may be sort of dabbling with things like AI chatbots. They are not really agents. They are AI assistants. The chatbot may be an agent, but let's talk about what we do mean by an agent. So we can think of an AI agent in the same way as we might think of a human agent. They are doing a task in the dealership. They're actually carrying out a specific role in the dealership. So what sort of roles could we be doing? So let's take maybe something we do today, an AI agent or a chatbot, if you want, on your website. Taking that to the next level, an AI chatbot agent should be able to do the basic stuff like give people, information about the car, which the golf clubs in the boot, what color is it, has it got leather seats, the very, very early stage inquiries on a vehicle. But it should also be able to test drive or review of the car and actually book that into a dealer diary without actually having any human interaction. An AI agent should be able to take an inquiry that comes in, do the donkey work that, to be fair, sales executives are not necessarily that good at doing. The boring stuff, taking and nurturing an inquiry from the time that it first comes in, just often at an early stage in the buying process, to the point where the customer is really interested in the car, wants to come and see it, has got his part exchange, etc., etc. Salespeople come to work and they want to know what car am I going to sell today. And that really is at the detriment to those customers that aren't necessarily ready to buy today. An AI agent, however, has no emotion. It doesn't care. It doesn't want to sell a car today. It's quite happy to sit back and nurture. Take a chat that comes in, maybe capture an email address, follow that up by emails or text message or WhatsApp or whatever, and continue that conversation with the customer, maybe over 20, 30, even 40, 45 days to get to the point where they're converting that into an appointment for a sales exec. And that's really where an AI agent can complement a human. It can take the hard, boring work that's procedural largely away from the sales exec and filter down those leads from that big lump of people who may or may not be interested, so that the sales exec is only really dealing with people who are already qualified, have a vehicle identified, wants to come in and see it, which means that they can use their skill set to take those prospects across to the final part of the journey into the sale. And we can apply that right the way through the dealership. Things like booking test drives, following people up, updating data. So confirming people's name, their address, their email address, their text number, and updating data in the business. We can do that. In the near future, we're not going to be talking just AI chat or AI bots. We're also going to be talking about voice agents. An agent that can actually answer the telephone and deal with basic inquiries without a human, make you more responsive, give you 24/7 ability to answer the phone and do things, make a service booking, maybe deal with those calls about, is my car ready for collection? How much is the invoice going to be? They're the calls that are meat and drink for AI, and with voice will become further meat and drink. And again, that doesn't replace your service receptionist, but it leaves them to do the things that aren't that basic and focus on the customer service where a real human is required to deliver that well. You will have a large database of customers. Hopefully, you have a DMS system and CRM system that are linked together. So you've got a full view of customer journey from the original point of their original inquiry, maybe 5 years ago, through all their transactions since when they bought the car, what finance it was on, have they serviced it since, what problems did it have, what's its MOT history, etc., so that an AI agent can do something that a human finds very, very difficult to do. It can take your sales, look at the people that you sold to, and then use that information and perhaps the information from other dealers that it's been trained on to say, okay, I've got a database of 10,000 records that have been built up over the last 5 years, 10 years. Let's segment those customers dynamically because it'll change as customers interact with you. Which ones are in a very, very, very early nurture stage? They've got their car, they're expecting to be happy with that car, not thinking about changing it. Which ones are in perhaps market for an MOT or a service follow-up soon? Which ones are perhaps in the later stages? Maybe they should be thinking about replacing their car in the next year. And it's not as simple as just going, oh, they had a 36-month finance agreement. We need to be contacting them at month 30. We may know from our data, or the AI agent will know from our data, that perhaps on average, people with 36-month finance agreements start to make inquiries and search for cars maybe at month 22. And actually then preempt that and start sending information out relevant to that customer. It will know things like, people who own one particular type of car, let's say a small 3-door hatchback, based on what it sees going through the business, what car are they likely to be buying? And perhaps sending information on stock of vehicles that you've got. Do they buy new? In which case, those people should be getting new vehicle information. But are they people that always buy used? In which case, looking at used vehicle stock is quite important. AI can do that. A sales exec looking at data or manually selecting the data will never achieve that level of a sales exec will never achieve that level of complexity. But there are other things that we can think about, things that you do or should be doing daily and make a big difference. If you've got 100 used cars in stock, what price are they up for? How much are they being sold for on your website and on Auto Trader? That price should be changing every single day. The price of vehicles is changing, demand is changing. The AI can look at that and look at all 100 vehicles every single day and start to dynamically price the car so that it sells A, quickly, but B, makes the maximum profit per unit while it does that. Those type of AI agents will pay for themselves millions of times over their lifetime by making your business and your pricing much more efficient and making you more profitable at the same time. I talked about AI in the sales process, but you've got exactly the same concept in the after sales process. We're used to perhaps to sending emails out to customers about, getting an MOT or a service booked. But an AI agent can go that little bit further. It can do, it can have a two-way conversation with a customer. How much does the service cost? Actually then take them through to actually getting it booked in and book it in for you. So you haven't got any human involvement whatsoever. Let's think about reporting. Most businesses will do some basic reporting every month. They'll have maybe a DOC you run. You'll have sales profitability reporting, maybe after sales, maybe labour sales every month. You're trying to gain insights that you can make decisions on. They are very good at telling you what's happened, but to be useful, reporting needs to be able to pick up on things that you can improve on. And AI is very, very good at doing exactly that, looking for trends, looking for errors or mistakes that are in your data or holes in your data, or perhaps looking at a certain type of job that doesn't work well on your workshop, or spotting that perhaps a certain technician doing a certain type of job doesn't gain as much in terms of revenue for you as somebody else doing the same job. Maybe they're less efficient or something similar to that. They are things that AI is very, very good at. An AI agent can do that and give you actionable insights where you can take decisions today to improve things. So to summarize, in the future, AI is going to change from being a basic assistant, a chatbot, to something that's very much more complementing your human resources, you're complementing your people to actually help you to run your business by carrying out repetitive tasks so that your people don't have to, or doing the tasks that your people really don't like doing all the time. So that taking away simple tasks away from the humans so that your staff can actually focus much more on delivering customer satisfaction and customer service where they have the skills to do exactly that. So what can you do today? What should you be doing today? I think the first thing is to make sure that you're implementing the technology correctly. There's lots and lots of AI-based things out there which really don't deliver what you expect them to deliver. Maybe it's because they're too early, they're coming to market too early, they're not well developed. So you need to look at what's available, but then implement that at the right time. But you should be thinking about all those things that AI can do very, very well, whether that's actually doing a business process in the sales department, responding to customers in the service department. We should be thinking about voice technology. At the moment, the perception is that AI voice is a long way away. I've got news for you. It isn't. You've probably already dealt with AI voice without realizing it. And in the future, that is going to be quite a strong technology. The ability to take a phone call and deal with that without a human 24/7, 365 days a year is extremely powerful tools. Challenge the vendors, challenge the people that you're buying the AI from. Can they show you where it's used? Can they tell you the ROI? Can you actually show you where it's been done elsewhere, demonstrate how it's worked in a business like yours? That's a great place to start.